Hey guys, my name is Sediak and welcome back to another episode of Transport Fever 2, the Netherlands edition, where last episode, guys, we spent billions of big ones, and I truly do mean billions of big ones right now, in trying to change and improve the lines that were losing the most amount of money. Now, while I've still got it sorted here by the lines losing the most amount of cash, obviously we do have a lot of lines making cash, guys. Just throwing that out there right now. It does look like we're still losing lots of cash, but when you compare it to what we were losing last episode, we're practically making money at this point. I'm going to still keep my eyes peeled on a lot of these lines and still improve them where we kind of see fit. But my biggest loss right now is only 7 million. Okay, maybe 11. Okay, I spoke too soon. Which is a drop in the water compared to what we were losing on some of the big lines in the last episode. Now, I want to take a little bit of a left turn right now. Yes, we are building a Dutch transportation company based in the Netherlands, because that's where the Dutch people live. But I'm going to move away from the Netherlands, and I want to look at all the way down here, right? Because this part down here happens to be Germany. We've got Bonn, Cologne, Düsseldorf, Dortmund, Essen, Duisburg, and I think that's as good as my German pronunciations are going to get. I want to build a little bit of a connectivity area around here, connect up some of these German towns, not to the mass network via trains. Weirdly, I want to keep it separate for solely one reason: to connect the lines here to an airport, so we can have a third airport and have an actual reason to have a third airport that we can connect to our two Dutch airports in the game. So, if you are enjoying this series so far, things are getting pretty big right now. Then make sure you smash that like button down below, subscribe if you are new, so you get notified when more episodes do come out. So, let's plan this out then. I reckon, because I want the airport to be kind of slightly out the way, so I reckon I'm going to build the airport around here, which means I need to connect up a couple of lines that could potentially lead here, or they just so happen to kind of, you know, line hop to get to here, if that made sense. That made sense, guys? Does that make sense right now? So we'll play around with some stuff. We'll see what we can kind of get up with, and we'll see how far we can actually connect up a lot of these lines. So yeah, I think I'm going to drop it here, which means I can maybe start in Dortmund. Dortmund can come down, have a stop at the airport, and then split into two lines. One that goes to Düsseldorf, one to Wuppertal. Maybe have a third line that doesn't go to the airport, but goes to Essen, down to Duisburg. Lines will then lead down to Cologne, and then finally terminate in Bonn. That could be interesting. That could be interesting. Let's see what we can get up with first then. So I'm going to treat Dortmund. I'm not going to create like a vast network in Germany. I'm just going to treat Dortmund as also like an end station. And what I'm going to do then is I'm going to get passenger, the end terminus. We'll do 6 lines, or 6 platforms, 6 tracks is the best way to put it. I think that could be pretty good. Are we going to lead it with 3? Yeah, I think we'll lead with 3. There's a little bit of a hill here as well, which is going to kind of slightly throw me off a little bit. I didn't realize it was so... Do you know what? That's crazy, right? I'm so used to building in the Netherlands in this series, and I'm so used to the land all being flat. I didn't even think in my brain that we're going to have hills in Germany. That's how brainwashed your boy's been this series, with actual how flat the Dutch land levels actually are. It's crazy. It didn't even click in my brain until right this minute. Right, very good, very good. Now, we'll build a station here, so I'm going to do... I'll do 4 tracks. That's how... Oh, my goodness me, look at this. For the first time ever, we've now got to deal, right, boys, with terrain issues. This is going to be hilarious. Right, if I built this here, then, we're on a slight hill. I'm wondering if we can make it go over the top. Let me just find out. Let me just find out right now. And building up and over. Can we build up and over? No, I don't think it's going to work like that. Not the way that I'm expecting it to work. Unfortunately, no. I could go elevated, but that's then kind of, you know, looking a little bit weird. Or I just keep it simple down here. It's probably what I'm going to do. Right, I've ended up deleting quite a bit of this town right now, so I do need to calm down. I've got to remember to do high speed. No particular reason apart from my own OCD wanting high speed, and I think I've got the wrong... I don't even have high speed here, do I? Let me delete this and re-put this one back down. Right, high speed is now selected. 6 lines. Boom. Okay. And then we'll do one in Essen over here as well. But we've got to be careful about this hill. This hill's going to be, you know, it's going to be quite a huge problem. But who's to say that I have to have the train lines running in the center? Because, you know, we don't need to in that regards. We don't need to. So let me go 4 here. And drop you down just there. We'll lead it down that way. And then we'll have a line that runs straight to Dusseldorf. I don't think I'll add a second one in Essen, while that does sound like a pretty cool idea. Do you know what? I don't think it would be such a bad idea, to be honest with you. Because it might allow me to run another line that goes to the airport. Right. Okay. Okay. So if I was to get the airport down then, we'll go passenger style. I'm going to rotate this. Now, I need it to kind of be beneficial for the airport. I've got some interesting land developments. So if I just now figure out, that's going to run and then bend. So I just need the airport to be within the radius. I'll terraform and landscape where needs be. I'm just going to try and play around right now with a couple of ideas. I'm not too bothered about the pollution it causes, because I'm not worried about, you know, appeasing the Germany as much as I am the Netherlands. Right, see now this is going to run out then. This is going to go round. It does seem like quite a large hill, but that's where the terraforming is now going to come into place. So strength, and this is going to be a lot of terraforming, isn't it? Right, let me just kind of go around like this, and then we'll smoothen it all to make it not feel or seem like such a harsh hill. All right, nice and big going around. Right, let's smooth it. That is ridiculous, isn't it? It is absolutely ridiculous. Right, smoothing in should be pretty straightforward now at this point. So let's do all the inner side first. Alright, get all this done. This is the ultimate smoothie right now, boys. The ultimate smoothie. Right, try and fill the middles. Go around. I might have to come back and kind of fine-tune this, just so I'm not standing here for like 20 minutes trying to change the elevation. And you know what, I just realized something as well. I haven't even extended the airport to add in the additional runways. Right, we'll have to come back to that, the rest of that in just a moment. Oh, that looks ridiculous, doesn't it? Right. Configure, boys, configure. So I'm actually going to delete all the buildings here. And I'm going to start with the main building, hopefully as central as we can make it. We're going to do passenger terminal, passenger terminal, passenger terminal, passenger terminal. And then we'll do a hangar at the very end just there. We're going to add in what we need now for a second runway. And I'm not sure which way to do the approach in this, but I'm going to mimic the opposite side. And that's our big boy airport. So let me do a little bit more smoothie. Because now it's kind of pushed us out slightly. It starts like a little bit different, but it's still ridiculous, okay? It's still absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Right, smooth. Try and finish that off. Okay, so visually, it looks an absolute abysmal mess, but we'll improve it as time goes on. So don't stress, guys, okay? Don't stress right now how crazy this looks. I'll fix it, okay? Right, let me get a road connection just here then. So run this down. There we go, there we go, there we go. And I'm going to build a little train station on it. So I'm actually going to come out a little bit more. And... right, I want to bring you out. I think I'm going to bring you down like this to about there. And let me just kind of pick a spot here. This will make sense in just a minute. Don't worry, boys. This will make sense. This will make sense. All right, delete you to there. And then we're going to build our train station here. So if I'm going to go for a... do I do 6 or 2? We'll do 2 sets, and by 2 sets I mean 4, if that makes sense. And put you... does it touch the airport? It does. That's the main thing. I'm going to put it just here on the side. Right. I've got a lot of landscaping, okay? I've got a lot to do. Now, let me go for the flattening tool. Let me just go around there. And let me just come off the airport a little bit more. So at least flatten around the airport. Before anything else. Damn, now I wish I didn't build it on a hill, but I'm committed to it. I've now committed to building on a hill. This is hilarious. Cannot wait for everyone to start roasting me in the comment section. Please go easy on me. Please go easy on me, guys. Oh my, good job I got loads of, like, almost infinite money right now, right? Right. Let's smoothie. Alright, smoothie. So we've now got to try and figure out how we get in. Is this an elevated train line, or is that just me? I think it might just be me. We've got to figure out how we're actually physically getting in the train lines into this. Because with all this land adjustments I'm now implementing, it is going to cause some funsies. Right, so let's get train tracks then. And let's start with this one. So the most left side is definitely 100% going to be going in the airport's direction. Right, so that's going to cave itself up. Bring it down. So I'll bring it to about there. I'll bring this one going straight just here for a minute. Just so I can see where they're ultimately going to run. So if I delete that road, delete you, and delete you, and then I'm going to delete back by one more. That runs pretty nice. Right. Fine-tuning to the next extent. You don't even... from this angle, guys. From this angle, you don't even you don't realize what I've just done. Right. That line runs in. So now, we're going to run this line. So we've got... also, this is now going to have to go slightly... oh my goodness me. Don't even look at it at this angle, boys. Don't even look at it at this angle. Right, we're going to do... all stuck to the ground. We're going to bring you in. Because this will also help the terraining as well, by the way. This will help me do a lot of terraining. Run you this way, all the way down. Very nice. So now, smooth this all out. As much as we can. Smooth it all out. Very nice, very nice. The airport on the hill, guys. That's what it would be known as right now. The airport in the sky. You're already 10% to your destination, but just by getting to the airport. That's what we're going to say, boys. Right, that runs down to there, which is great. Now, we're going to run 2 additional lines here. So this is where things are going to start to get a little bit interesting for us right now. So I'm not going to allow them to share platforms. I think it's kind of cool. I think it is going to be kind of cool for them to, let me run that to there. Have their own separate lines running in. Right, I've done that just so I can kind of match the distance. And then bring you to there. And then get rid of the bend part of it now. And then have that run all the way down. So I want this to run on the right side. So the left side of this one. Oh, we're gonna have a tunnel. He's gonna have a tunnel. Right. Let me pick this part. So if I allow this to run in normally, it tunnels there, which I don't mind the tunnel. I think it would add a little bit of character to this area. An area which I have already stated I don't really care too much about. I just want to be able to build a 3rd airport and actually travel to Germany. That's all part of the funsies, right? Right, there we go. There we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. And you know what comes next, boys? Smoothie, smoothie. Smoothie, smoothie. Right. Smoothie, smoothie all down here. Smoothie, smoothie all there. Now, that means that I'm also then going to be wanting to bring this extra platform here, this line, down and then to turn in. Which, in reality, there's nothing stopping me creating a little bit of a mini loop around here. Which that could really, really work out. So, what I mean by that is, if I ran this going now all the way, but sometimes it's just easier to bend with this. And then we delete it after. Because it maintains our little gap and distance. So now delete it. There we go. And then run it like normal. Very nice, very nice. All the way down. All the way up. Right, that's that little strip there done. And now it's time for more smoothie smoothie. So it's gonna, the area's gonna feel interconnected. They're also gonna feel like they're going for the Swiss Alps in Germany. that's the other side of it as well. It's character, okay, guys? It's ambience. It's, leave me alone. That's what it is. Right, we're going to bring this going through just to at least match up to here. So we can utilize the same tunnel, which is pretty great. And then we'll delete what we don't need. There we go. There we go. So I've got to bend this going round right now. So this will be fun. This will be a lot of fun. So I reckon I delete back to about. Do you reckon that's enough? Do you know what? It works out pretty well. I'm not a fan of the staggered tunnel system. So what if I deleted you? Actually, no. What I'm going to do, put that back in, because I do like the type of bend it's created. I'm going to see if I can... All right, delete you. Smoothie, smoothie, smoothie. Move this tunnel back a little bit. See, that's better. It now all feels part of it. And then I'm going to smoothie this area. Look at this interconnectivity already, boys. Oh my, look at how ridiculous that airport looks. Oh my goodness me, this is looking so good. So good. Right, let me delete the road. Just, well, to there. Bring you out and then bring you up. I'm going to do a little bit more. There we go. Weirdly, it looks a little bit better now. It does look a little bit better. Right, okay, so we've gone from Dortmund to Essen to Wuppertal. Wuppertal? Am I pronouncing that right? I'm not too sure. How many Germans are watching right now that are cringing in the background? But that's pretty good. So we're going to use this as like a little bit of an inner loop, which would be great. So we'll extend this going down. One will turn that way, and then one will go this way through Dusseldorf. And if I set the Dusseldorf station up perfectly, so building-wise, bam. And then we'll use Duisburg here as being an end platform. So again, this is as far as I'm taking a lot of this stuff. So if I put you there, one line runs into there, that one runs... Oh, no, actually, I can treat that as a free. No, do I treat it as a free? No, I don't. No, it's a 2, because that inner line here comes and then bends to go into that one, where that one goes down there. No, I've got it. Ignore everything I'm saying right now. I know what I'm doing. Famous last words. Famous last words, boys. Right, that should run down to there. I don't mind that running direct because it's quite easy to now navigate. This is the one that's going to run and turn into Duisburg. So I can literally just do it like this. No dramas, boys. No dramas right now. You can tell we're getting close to the Netherlands as the land is starting to become a little bit more flatter. Right, smoothie, where needs be. Nice. And then bring you to about there. And then how... Do you know, this might be the perfect spot here for the bend. Yeah, that's actually worked out really well. Okay. Now, there's so much more infrastructure I've still got to do. I've got to do all the signals, the crissy-crossies, all that jazz. But I am going old school right now by keeping all the lines completely separate where I can. Oh, hold on. I forgot about this station. Oh, what a fool. I forgot about that station there. Right. Damn it, Seniac, you fool. I forgot about that station. Right. How's that going to work then? How's he done that, boys? How has he done that right now? So I could extend it to one more city, right? I don't know. I'm now losing knowledge on what's now German and what's not German. This is where your boy kind of needs to now, you know, console in a little bit of a Google Maps. You know what I mean? So if... I'm trying to figure this out right now. So I know Arnhem is in the Netherlands, which is just up here. If that's correct. I think Emmerich is German. And it's this Wesel here. I'm not too sure. I can't remember where the borders run. I can't remember where the borders run off the top of my head. I also don't think Wesel's spelt like that in real life, is it? I think it is. I think that's German, isn't it? Isn't this river the border? I think it is. You know, it's one of the things, like, you know it, but you can't remember it. You know, one of those moments. So I could have that running down there to go into there. And then have that bend round and then actually stop here, which means that this would not be an end platform. This will be treated as something like this. But now with how I've spaced that all out, it is what it is. It's my boo-boo. I gotta deal with it. I gotta deal with it. So I'll treat Wesel over here as the end. And then we can guarantee that that is going to be the end. We can then officially guarantee it. Right, smoothie, 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 smoothie. There we go. I know that's not physically connecting to anything, any road just yet, so let me just quickly sort that out. Bit awkward. But, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is at this point. So, that's going to continue to run then. So, that's going to run in there and then go all the way up. We'll have another one that does that way as well. So, in theory, we have 2 train lines reaching the same cities. Oh, no, that one doesn't go. That's a more direct route up there, isn't it? So, technically, they are a little bit different. Right, okay, that won't hurt us too much. So, I'm going to bring you to there. And I don't like the bridge. Land bridge. Run you down. And then do the same here. Now, this one's going to go a little bit longer. And we'll bring that to about there. So that should be fine for us here. And then smoothie, smoothie. Smoothie, smoothie. Right. I've now awkwardly got 2 platforms, or 2 sets of platforms I could potentially create on that line. But then I've got 2 here. I've still slightly messed it up. You know what I mean? I've still slightly messed it up. I don't want to create a loop. Okay, one of them is just not going to be used, unfortunately. One will not be used. Right, no bridges are created, are they? No. Right, delete you back. Right, like a fool, I haven't really planned this out well, only because the only reason this hasn't gone to plan is because I forgot one of the train stations didn't exist. That's the only reason. Let that be known. Let that be known, okay? Oh, no. So that's going to run into that way. Great stuff. And then this, like I said, awkwardly right now, I've got my next issue. But then again, it can just be an end platform. It's not the end of the world. Not everywhere has to kind of run through. Oh, what happened then? Boy, get back here. Right, bend you into there. Bend you down to here. So I could make that one just end in general. So then it won't have to go all the way up to there, which then means you can utilize this line. But then if you want to go to there to the airport, you've got to kind of connect over. But then again, it can also share the line unless it runs into up here. So what I could do is run you down to there. And then run this all the way up as well. And then delete all this middle bit. Have I just deleted the... I've just deleted the road. Sorry, guys. Right, and then that could connect into here. So then they can still technically share the line. So it doesn't... It still works, guys. It still works. Apart from the fact that I've got an extra one there, but it is what it is. Okay, so... Now... We're going to run this... And this is going to be interesting. So we'll go for a little bit of a tunnel. Run it all the way down. And then what if I just decided to hit them with a direct bend? We'll do some smoothie, of course. Smoothie around all the areas. We missed a little bit of smoothie going down here. And of course coming down here. Ta-da! What an extensive train network already. Wow. Amazing. Amazing. And I've got to continue a bit further, obviously. I've got to complete the loop there. And continue down, which that's going to go down to Cologne, and then boom, boom. So I will probably end up running that line like this. So that is just completely random and rogue of me to do. All the way up. And then that's going to go down that way. I just want to complete the loop in that regards. And obviously, if I then also build a secondary line, because that's the games we're playing right now, okay? I've decided to keep them all separate. I don't know why I'm doing it like this. It's just so... I feel like because it's in Germany, it's not the Netherlands, we're kind of doing it a little bit different. As if Germany's got different rules and regulations. Right, bring it a bit further down. Ooh, hello. Maybe don't bring it further down. Maybe delete back. Which side is that on? Let me just kind of go to here first. Smooth, smooth, smooth. Right, there we go. And then let me just get this one set up, and then what lines I can create, like, are ready to go, we'll create them and just get some movement on the go first. So this should be pretty fun now. It should be a pretty straight and simple bend going down so far. And I could ultimately kind of go for the bendy-wendy straight away. There's nothing stopping me doing that. Lead you down. And into there. Last little bit of smoothie. And I think we're then good to go. So what we'll do then is we'll create the lines that are actually able to be created. So we'll start with the... I'll leave the loop till last. Let's start with the back and forth lines first. I don't have signals done. Crissy crossies. I haven't got any of this stuff done. So maybe we should actually think about doing that first, because that's going to actually hinder me creating these lines. So I only need it on the lines that are treated as ends. And then we should be okay elsewhere. So that one needs it. This one over here needs it. And then it's a case of then just a bunch of signals. Is I think then all we need. Because they're straight back and forth. They're going down that way. Loops are okay. Yeah, it's just then signals. We need to do signals. Am I kidding right now? We've got to do signals, boys. So, bam, bam, bam. Now, this is where, you know, auto-sig comes into its own at this point. So, if I go bam, I go bam, I go bam. And then do it going back there. How far we got here? Doing it going back there. And I've got it right to there. We'll do it to there. So it should somewhat mimic it. Somewhat it should mimic it anyway. Right, bam, bam. And then we'll go bam, bam. Oh, so it didn't work all the way down. Oh, because this is here. That's why. Alright, that to there. That going that way. Need one there anyway. There we go. So that sorts this area out apart from this. So I'm very loosey-goosey right now on the old signals. Very loosey-goosey. Alright, bam, bam. Let me go bam, bam. Right, let me just do the signals for the loop. They somewhat match it. Alright, there we go. And then just here. Right, they're not perfect, but they'll do for now. They will do for now, boys. They will do. Okay, so, lines. New line. Dortmund to here, to there, and then back. Gonna make sure that we're on the correct sides. We'll go pink. So that should be correct on the way back. No problemos. Dortmund, you can use both platforms. You can use both platforms there. That line is set up perfection, boys. Perfection. So let me quickly rename it while it's fresh in my mind. Dortmund to Wessel. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And then we're looking at Dortmund again. Going this way. And then going back again. So this is pretty much going and starting and stopping at the same areas. But it goes a different way altogether. It goes a different way altogether, boys. Oh, no. What was that on originally? Wait, what? Coming down here. Oh, it's the next stop, isn't it? Sorry, I think. Yeah, it was the next stop it's having trouble with. Alright, there we go. So that's pretty much the same name again. So this is Dortmund to Wessel 2. We'll just call it that. And I can do the loops. But I could also... No, yeah, I just need to do the loops, don't I? Yeah. So, start there, 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 there. And we're going to call it Airport, no. German Airport Loop 1. New line. I'll make it purple so we can kind of see it a bit better. Loop 2. So that loop is vital and important for stopping at multiple stops that the lines flow through on. So that circular loop will be pretty handy. So in reality, the airport only stops at the 2 loops plus the main line that goes from Dortmund, which comes down here, which will eventually go all the way down to Bonn. And then we obviously got the other line that goes through Wessel down to Duisburg to Dusseldorf, coming down from Cologne. Sorry, guys. I didn't mean to call you guys poop. To Bonn. So there we go. Interesting. So I think we'll get a couple of trains on the go, start making some movements now, and then start rocking and rolling with building and extending the rest of the line. So where would be the most handiest for us to connect up the trains? The loop's going to have trouble getting the trains on, so I'll have to kind of create an area where they can kind of switch. And what I'll do is I'll do it here. All right, do you there. And there. So that there will enable us then to have the switchover for the trains on that line. And I think building the actual rail yard over here is going to be pretty handy. So train tracks. Right, if I get you there, can I put a double switch there? Yes. And that's all I need it to do. Right, so I can't remember though what trains we were using on our passenger lines. I actually can't remember. Let me go and find out one right now. Let me pick one at random. Let's go for you. Red with blue. I'm sure some of them had dual stocks. Or is that just me? No, red and blue. Was it the dual stocks are too expensive? Is that what it was? Let me look at Amsterdam. There's a lot less trains now waiting here. Hilariously. I'm sure we had like a bunch of dual stocks. What's making good cash? Okay, oh, on the loop we had some. Do I go down the route of dual stocks? We're not really built up enough to kind of have that type of train around here. So maybe not. Maybe not. Right, electric. We'll go, I mean, that red one there, 3 million. That's 4.5. The euro joule. You know, I'll get it. Then again, that's 6.8, the dual stock. I think the dual stock came out after I did a bunch of upgrades. But that's 6.8 million. It's... I'm going to get it. Right, I'm going to buy 6. So we put 1 on the loop. Where's the German airport loop 1? 1 on the other loop. The reason for that is it's technically then 2 on that line, if that makes sense. Then what we do is we put 2 on the Dortmund-Wessel line 1 and 2 on the Dortmund-Wessel line 2. Now that's the only lines we created there. And it will start getting some movement around here anyway. I've got to do more public transport within the cities. We completely know this. But at least we've got some movement on the go now. Okay, at least we've got something happening right now. Right, I've got so much terraining to do. It's unreal. to make it look not as ridiculous as I've made it. Right, let's just do this back wall here, and then we'll look at the other cities I'm still yet to connect. Let's just try and get rid of the cliff edges first. Alright, the cliff edges are gone, but there's still so much terraining I've got to do. Right, we won't get planes till next episode. At least let us kind of focus on building these areas up a bit more. I think, you know what, rather than extend down there, we'll do these two cities next episode when we finalise the airport. Let's get a little bit of public transport kind of going around here right now. So we'll start with Essen right now, because this will be a good place to work with. And I'll run this down like that. And I'll run this down. And then we'll let a couple of areas kind of push it themselves through. And then we'll create a nice little loop going back and forth to switch between the two train lines, but mainly also picking people up. So smoothing around where I've created some of these roads. The smoother the land to the road, the better building it can produce. Right. I'm going to go buses because they're pretty cheap and not that expensive to run and maintain, and not that much infrastructure needs to be built. If I do there and there, if I do there and there, go there and there, there and there, there and there, there and there. So all that gives us a radius to reach the inner areas. Oh no. That's got to be one of my new trains, right? Right, you're on the wrong side. How have you managed that? Like, seriously, how have you managed that? Alright, there we go. I have no idea how that train managed to get down that side. But we'll delete it once it's passed. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. And then we're back in business. Right, what was I doing? Buses. I might add... I don't feel like I want to do one like an inner one, but I'm going to do an inner one there. Just to make it go in. Just so it kind of covers a large radius of this town. Right, new line. Let me go this way round. And make it pink. And then we'll call this... Essen Bus 1. Make it purple. Yeah, it is going the opposite way. Bus 2. So it just picks up it's mainly just to pick up the most and the widest radius that we ultimately can. I don't really care about anything else. Buy some buses. So we need passenger. Oh, the e-buses could work out pretty well. Right, we'll get 3 e-buses in one direction. Three e-buses in the opposite direction. Right, that's our first city there in Germany on this looped lined system, whatever you want to call it, that now has proper connections. So that'll be interesting to see how that now progresses. That really, really would. Now, the Dortmund area here does seem to have pretty good connectivity already, but we'll try and further on that a little bit more. So just helping a little bit of the city's growth. It helps us with better placement of roads. And then we'll create a little bit of a loop going around here next. So of course, start and stop at the train station. This is going to be more of a little bit of an inner loop. Because it's so intertwined connected anyway, we haven't got to go as mental as the SM1. And do that in pink. So, Dortmund. Bus 1. And another one going the opposite way around at this point. Bus 2. Very good, very good, very good. Zoom back in. Now, I don't think we'll need as many buses on this one. Just got that feeling. Probably 2 at most. I say that, and then we're going to have to add in a lot more. It's just because the actual train station does cover a large portion of the city anyway, that they could just walk to it. But I do have a feeling Dortmund's going to grow into a pretty large city. Just have that feeling as well. Right, that's 2 cities down. Very good, very good, very good. But they won't have the ultimate growth until we connect up the airport. That's where things are going to change for them. So like Essen right now, yeah, it's getting a nice little growth on the go. A couple of percentage bonuses and boosts. But once the airport connects, they then have access to all of our transportation network. Which is going to dramatically then change everything. It's the wildest airport I've ever seen in my life. No one's... Listen, don't say anything in the comment section about my airport, okay? Leave me alone. Don't cyberbully me at this point. I'm very emotional, guys, okay? Please don't bully me. Don't bully me right now. But yeah, there we go. Trains coming in, doing the part of these simple lines, which is very good. But it won't have full effect until the airport's all connected anyway. So next episode then, we'll connect the last 2 cities down here, Cologne and Bonn. We'll add all the vehicle routes to the towns so we can maximize the coverage. And then we'll set on our maiden voyage from the airport to the 2 Dutch airports in the game. This shall be interesting. And I wonder how quickly those new lines become... There we go. Become our biggest money losses. Wow, that food line is really struggling. We might need to take a look at that next episode as well. Or should I take a quick look now? I think I've got too many trains on it. Where is this food line, by the way? It's over here. I think I've got way too many trains on this. So let me take off 3 trains. Just sell them. Lower the expenses. I mean, it was basically making money there, but it's on the cut. So I do really feel like there's too many trains because there's not enough products on the platforms anyway. There is there, but you're going to be fully loaded every time. Right, let's leave it like that then, boys. We'll come back. We'll come back. There's a lot of people at the airport over here. We might need more trains. Does this make good cash? Kind of, yeah. But we might have to start thinking about replacing them with dual stocks now at this point as well because of potentially how cheap they're kind of looking. Right, boys. Hope you did enjoy this episode. If you did, please smash the like button down below. Until next time, I see you all soon. So, goodbye.